And we're jumping right into the deep end with Group 169. The author gave this one a title. London has been calling for 10,000 days, but is experiencing constant hang-ups.
Yeah, that title really nails the absolute clash of styles in this specific group. It's kind of wild.
It really is. So who are the contenders in this musical battleground?
Okay, so we have The Clash with London Calling, the iconic double album. Then there's Tool's 10,000 Days, pure progressive metal.
Totally a different vibe.
Completely. Then you've got Lily Allen's second album, It's Not Me, It's You, which is more electropop.
Yeah.
And finally, Goldfinger's hang-ups think pop-punk, ska influences.
Wow. Okay. Punkska reggae, prog metal, electropop, and pop-punkska. That is diverse.
Extremely. You couldn't really pick 4 more different albums if you tried, probably.
All right, so looking at that list, London Calling, that's the heavyweight, right? It's on every greatest albums list imaginable. You'd expect it to just sail through.
You absolutely would. That's what makes this outcome so surprising, actually. The sources show it crashed out hard.
Crashed out. What happened? How does London Calling lose in this setup?
Well, it seems to be a couple of things. First, expectations and personal taste. The author, Greenstrokes, went in expecting straight-up punk rock.
Like their first album, maybe?
Exactly. But what he found instead was, and this is a quote, way more scare-gay than I ever would have guessed. Lots of brass sections, Caribbean rhythms.
And the sources mention he has a specific bias there.
A major one. He explicitly states, scare-gay has never been my thing. So right off the bat, a core element of the album just didn't connect with him personally.
Okay, so personal taste is huge here. But you also mentioned structure. How does that play into it for a double album like London Calling?
Right. Think about the format. Rapid ranking, comparing 4 albums. London Calling isn't a tight 40-minute record. It's sprawling, experimental, a double LP.
Needs more time to sink in, maybe.
Exactly. It asks for patience. It shifts genres. In a competition where you're listening comparatively and looking for maybe consistency or immediate impact, a big, ambitious double album like that is, well, it's kind of at a disadvantage against more focused LPs.
So it's not just what it is, but how much of it there is and how varied it is.
Precisely. The scope worked against it in this specific context, which led to that, really harsh final verdict. He found it mediocre throughout.
Mediocre throughout, wow.
And spectacularly devoid of brilliance. Landed it in dead last, 4th place.
That's quite something for an album like London Calling. It really makes you question this whole album quest idea if personal dislike of a genre knocks out a consensus classic.
Well, it certainly shifts the goalposts, doesn't it? It's not about finding the universally greatest, maybe, but the most enjoyable for me right now. Which brings us nicely to Tool.
Okay, Tool's 10,000 Days. What's the story there? Completely different end of the musical spectrum.
Totally. This is described as a full-on progressive metal album. And interestingly, the author notes it functions more like a complete body of work instead of separate songs.
Right, that makes sense for prog metal. Complex structures, long tracks. The sources mention Danny Carey's drumming.
Yeah, called the backbone of the whole sound. The analysis described the rhythm section in this really evocative way, saying, it creeps and creeps like a hungry spider.
Ooh, I like that. So it's not just hitting you hard.
No, not always. It's about building tension. The description says the music lures you in, deceptively feeding you slow, subtle passages, and then bam! It hits you with that heavy, heavy Metallica-esque doom speed metal.
Sounds intense and dynamic. Did it start well? Any standout tracks?
Yeah, apparently it kicks off strong with the thundering riff of Vicarious. And the Pot gets a special mention for having the funkiest metal riff this side of a Red Hot Chili Peppers album. High praise.
Okay. Complex, dynamic, strong start, funky riffs. Sounds like a contender. So why didn't it win? Or at least beat Lily Allen and Goldfinger?
It's almost the flip side of a London Calling issue. Here, the complexity and the structure, the very things that make it Tool, worked against it in this ranking.
How so?
Those slow, subtle passages, the ambient moments, the pauses. The author saw them as flaws in this context. He felt the album was let down by some slow ambient moments.
So the creeping spider vibe didn't quite work for the ranking.
Apparently not consistently enough. It created too many stop-start moments for his liking. He even called the final track, Vigenti Tres, pointless.
Harsh again.
Yeah, but interestingly, he still acknowledged that Tool were, quote, by far the best musicians this group has to offer. The skill was obvious.
But the pacing, the structure, let it down in this particular race, so musical talent wasn't enough.
Exactly. Inconsistency in pacing trumped technical brilliance here. It ended up in 3rd place.
Fascinating. Okay, so the classic is out, the prog giants are out. Let's talk Lily Allen. It's not me, it's you.
The author wasn't keen on her debut, right?
Not at all. He reviewed All Right Still way back in episode 83, apparently, and basically called it adolescent blabbering.
Ouch. So what changed with this album? How did she manage to leapfrog Tool?
It sounds like a pretty significant evolution. The production is described as bigger and better musically. She moved away from that earlier, looser, scare-gay, pseudo-rap sound.
Towards what? More towards electropop. And crucially, the first 4 songs were highlighted as being particularly strong. They had a beautiful, airy feel, and apparently offered this immediate hit of quality and, importantly, consistency.
Consistency again. That seems key. Tool lacked it in pacing. Lily Allen delivered it up front.
That seems to be exactly it. Those opening tracks gave her a strong foundation that Tool, with its ebb and flow, maybe didn't have in the same way for this listener.
Did she keep any of her older quirkiness? I remember her lyrics could be quite pointed.
Oh yeah, definitely. The sources mention the track Not Fair and how the backing sounds like it's played by a redneck square dance troupe, so still quirky instrumentally.
Ah, okay.
And lyrically, too. Fuck You is mentioned for its rambunctious sentiment against extremism, so she's blending catchy pop with some real substance.
Any specific lyrical examples?
Yes, there's a quote from the track Fear. I'm a weapon of massive consumption. It's not my fault. It's how I'm programmed to function. That's pretty sharp social commentary, you know?
Yeah.
Not just fluff.
That's impressive. More depth than you might expect from electropop.
For sure. And here's a funny little connection, speaking of The Clash. Lily Allen's dad, the actor Keith Allen, apparently used to know Joe Strummer back in the day.
No way! That's brilliant irony. The daughter of someone connected to The Clash ends up helping knock London Calling out of the running.
Yeah, small world, huh? So Lily Allen comes in strong, consistent, lyrically sharp, grabs second place.
Which means the winner, the unexpected champion of Group 169, must be Goldfinger. Hang-ups.
That's the one, Goldfinger. If Tool is all about patient complexity, Goldfinger is the exact opposite.
Weren't they known for, like, soundtracks to teen movies in the 90s, American Pie and stuff?
That's them. And the description fits. They just cannot wait to hit you with the chorus. It's immediate.
Okay, immediate energy. But how does that beat Tool's musicianship or Lily Allen's consistency and lyrical smarts? Seems a bit lightweight in comparison.
Well, the author defines their sound as good time music with a hard edge. And maybe that good time factor was exactly what won the day. It fulfills that immediate enjoyment criterion we talked about.
Okay. Did the sources say what made them stand out from other bands doing similar stuff back then, like Sum 41 or Blink 182?
Yeah, it points to one specific thing, their constant use of brass sections.
Wait, brass. Didn't The Clash get penalized for having too much brass because it sounded like stir-gay?
Exactly. This is the crucial distinction, the thing that decided the group, really. The Clash used brass, and it made the album feel like Scaragate to the author, a genre he dislikes.
Right.
Goldfinger also uses brass, often played by guys from the Orange County ska scene, interestingly, but they use it differently. It's described as something that enhances and colorizes their pop-punk sound.
Ah, so it's like an add-on, not the fundamental core of the song.
Precisely. Its flavor, its energy, an extra layer on top of the punk foundation. It doesn't define the genre of the track in the same way the Clash's brass did for this listener. It just lifts the mood.
That makes sense. So brass as decoration versus brass as structure, a subtle but critical difference in this context.
Absolutely key. Now, Goldfinger wasn't perfect either, according to the review. There were moments described as sounding like a heavy metal band trying to escape, like a 1-minute metal breakdown track called SMP.
Okay, a bit messy.
Yeah, and also moments of what the author called contrived angst, like shouting, "fuck you," in a way that didn't really fit their upbeat sound. It created a messy whirlwind of thrashy speed punk at times.
But that messiness didn't hurt them as much as Tool's slow bits.
Apparently not. Yeah. Maybe messy energy is more forgivable in good time music than perceived structural slowness or ambiguity in prog metal. Goldfinger's hang-ups, despite the mess, was never boring or ambiguous for this listener. It was just relentless energy.
And that energy carried it to first place. Incredible.
Incredible, yeah.
Okay, let's just recap that final ranking for Group 169. It's quite the upset.
Right, so in first place,
Yeah.
Goldfinger with hang-ups. In second place, Lily Allen with It's Not Me, It's You.
Both advancing. And then
In third place, Tool with 10,000 Days. And in fourth place, the big shocker, The Clash with London Calling.
wow. And that battle for second place between Lily Allen and Tool, it really came down to consistency, didn't it?
It seems so. Lily Allen's album started strong with those consistent, high-quality electropop tracks. Tool, even with maybe superior musicianship overall, had those stop-start moments, those structural pauses that counted against it here.
So the Focus Pop album beat the ambitious prog metal album in a direct comparison for this specific listener.
That's how it shook out, yeah. Consistency won over ambition in that particular fight.
So wrapping this up, what does this whole saga of Group 169 tell us? What's the main takeaway for you, the listener, thinking about your own music tastes?
I think what we've really synthesized here is just how powerful personal context and bias are in any kind of ranking, especially one like this of Album Quest. The author's admitted dislike of Scarigay fundamentally doomed London Calling from the start, regardless of its critical status. And structural things like album length or pacing became huge factors. Tool's complexity hurt it, while Lily Allen's upfront consistency helped her.
So critical acclaim and even technical skill took a backseat to, well, immediate personal preference and perceived consistency.
Exactly. In this kind of rapid-fire comparative system, consistency and immediate appeal seem to be king.
It's just such a strange journey we followed here. The massive rock classic London Calling, taken out by genre preference and its own sprawling size.
Yep.
The complex, masterful metal of Tool, beaten by catchy, consistent electro-pop from Lily Allen.
Right.
And the whole group ultimately won by Goldfinger, delivering that good time music with added brass for color. It's unexpected.
It really highlights how personal curation works, doesn't it? This whole album quest forces these incredibly diverse albums, punk, ska, metal, pop, into a direct fight, judged by one person's evolving criteria and maybe their mood at the time. It's purely subjective.